an impingement test, and it mimics the ASTM E235 open torch test. In a standard test, they use propane. We're using MAPP gas. MAPP gas is 5,301 degrees, and that can be certified, so we can check that out. We're going to use a setback of 5 inches from the edge of this counter to the center of this disc, which is the disc that we were given to test. 5 inches, according to the measurement, not 8. And we're going to do a 1-minute burn.
What material is this?
This is the material for the wall that's plastered. And this is the plaster surface, so this would be the texture coat. Now, the wall itself is coated with this, and it's approximately 3/8 inch thick as a knockdown coat. So that material, we want to make sure it doesn't transition heat. So we'll be checking with the heat calculator here, and it will impinge on the back through the hole, and it'll check the temperature of the disc for a 1-minute burn. Okay, you want to do a countdown? You check minutes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You can get the heat gauge there, and you can test it. What we're looking for is no flame up, no combustion, no smoldering, and a limited transition of heat to the back side. There's a hole in the back of the impingement stand, and it will be calculated by a heat indicator and tell you what the heat temperature is. For temperature.
41 degrees.
What's the length of time?
45 degrees. We are coming up to a minute. Right now.
So now, check the transition of heat. If the transition of heat doesn't exceed 350 degrees or 325, that's kindling.
44 degrees.
Kindling temperature, which means if there is a paper in back of it,
degrees.
or if this material has a substrate material that's combustible, then it can ignite. You've thermaled off the heat. Now there's no cracking in the material. It didn't crack. It didn't thermal. It had minimal amount of ablation, but it was impinged pretty much in the center. So that heat transition, if it would have pinged in the center, it would have slightly risen. So you can see a corona on the disc where it raises towards the top because heat travels up. So that disc on this side would be a pretty hot. So let's check the heat temperature on this side. Okay, that's 136.4 degrees. So it didn't transition heat. Now on the back side we have, through the impingement hole, we have 50.4 degrees.
Do one more.
46.4.
Okay.
So basically, you never got to kindling temperature. Therefore, if there would have been any substances behind it for a 1-minute burn at 5,301 degrees, you would have got no temperature gain. Now that calculation can be transferred from 5,301 degrees and calculated into minutes and into hours. So that burn could be then continued in a math equation that would give you an hourly burn rate. Under normal conditions, it would only probably be 300, 400, maybe 800 degrees if there's a lot of kindling on it, maybe 1,000. But that's 5,301, so you can formulate a math calculation.